Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is July 18th, 2022, and Bitcoin, as well as the rest of the cryptocurrency markets, are in an uptrend. It's very clear that they're in an uptrend. Now, the question is, when can we expect for us to hit significant resistance? How high will this pump go? That is where I think a lot of people are still scratching their heads, okay? And as we said yesterday, I still believe that $24,000 for Bitcoin is going to be a pit stop, and $30,000 is going to be the target at which we will experience some significant resistance, okay? This is probabilistic. Again, I don't know. We could completely melt through 30,000 as well, but I think some resistance at 30,000 is likely, just given what we're seeing on the charts. So today we're going to look at how to use exponential moving averages to set likely targets to the upside, okay? I'm going to talk about my strategy, right? So first and foremost, you have to recognize the larger trend, okay? I'm on the daily time frame because there's no point in going on smaller time frames and trying to make sense of that price action if the trend is impulsive, okay? And it's going either up or down. What you want to do is ride that trend. The last thing you want to do is try to trade in and out of that trend. The smart thing to do is just ride the trend, make use of it. You're definitely going to see some consolidations here and there, but by and large, the larger trend is your friend, and you just continue it until the end, right? You don't try to fade it. You don't try to get in its way. Now, it's trickier than it's easier said than done to say, oh yeah, well, how long does the trend last? So here's where I think it's helpful to go into larger time frames, so daily time frame, weekly time frame, okay, and go and use these EMAs, use VPVRs, use your stochastic RSI, use your indicators, okay? Even as a professional Elliott wave trader, you have to understand when to use what. I use Elliott waves to figure out that this is a high time frame reversal, okay? Like May 12th was a significant point, not just in Bitcoin, but especially in altcoins, right? And that this was a reversal consolidation, okay? And then I also used Elliott wave theory to count the waves up here and see that, okay, it looks as if whatever's from here on out is an extended wave, all right? I use Elliott wave theory for that. Now, am I going to go into smaller time frames and use Elliott wave theory to count smaller extended waves? No, it doesn't make any sense because it's just a low probability sort of exercise. The higher probability exercise is to go on the larger time frames, look at these EMAs. And what are EMAs? Exponential moving averages are the following, right? And expressed mathematically, if you go on Investopedia, it's just a type of moving average that is a little more sensitive because more weight, more emphasis is placed on the most recent data points. Now, you asked what data points. So if you use, for instance, the 21 EMA, as I like to do, that means 21 days of trading on that chart yield certain data points, okay? And you want to then understand that your EMA is representing the value of the price on a given day, right? If it's a daily, I use it on the daily time frame, I use it on 4-hourly time frame, but let's say you're on the daily time frame. So you're getting the value of the price on that particular day, and you're using some sort of formula to smooth it out and add the value of the price of the day yesterday, right? And you're still kind of smoothing it out with a particular formula. I'm not going to get into the intricacies of the mathematics, but essentially, you're trying to find the average price of a certain asset within a set period of time. So the 21 EMA, that set period of time is 21 days, 55 EMA is 55 days, and 144 EMA is 144 days. Again, on this channel, in my practice, like, trading and charting, I like to use Fibonacci numbers because they've proven themselves to be significant statistically and just in mathematics and trading in human behavior and natural sciences. So that's the EMA. I don't think it helps so much to really have a deep understanding of the math, just understanding basically that you're using a set you're using data from a set period of time, okay? So 21 is 21 days, 55 days, so on and so forth. Now, these EMAs, if you use them to chart quite a bit, you'll see that they tend to attract price. The 21 EMA I've mentioned before on this channel tends to show the general trend of a market. So when you're below the 21 EMA, the market's pretty much bearish. When you regain the 21 EMA and you're above it, then the market is bullish. However, the market tends to find stops or tends to consolidate right at or right below or right above sometimes these significant EMAs like the 55 EMA and the 144 EMA, okay? And the 55 EMA right now is sitting at 24K. And again, all of this is mathematics. It's the same thing that I'm, if I'm, pulling fibs and, doing Fibonacci retracement or Fibonacci extensions, you're still using math to probabilistically gather or derive important resistance levels for a certain asset. So 24 is a pit stop for me. 30 is still where I think Bitcoin is going to find significant resistance, and the chart is showing me as much. The VPVR is showing me as much. I talked about this yesterday, okay? And just really quickly going into the weekly time frame, you can see that there's an EMA cross, which is kind of doubly significant, right? Because both the 21 and the 144 EMA are at the $30,000 level. And 30,000, just, if you've been in this market, represents important support, right? When we lost it, it was pretty dire, but it represents important support for Bitcoin. And if we break that then kind of confirms a large trend change, okay? So we have these two EMAs crossing at 30K. It's very likely that when we matriculate up there, we're going to find some resistance and consolidate, probably correct for some time, okay? It's likely, I don't know for sure, but it's likely that once we hit this, it's going to be so significant that all of this will have been a wave one, okay, impulse. And then what follows is a sharp wave two correction to the 618 Fibonacci retracement of this wave one, which would then come down to 24K. Very likely. Very likely. I don't know for sure, but that seems probable. Okay? So, given this understanding, right, and this channel uses Bitcoin's price action as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large, I think it would be wise to set an alarm for Bitcoin at 30K. Okay? And once it hits 30K, understand that that's the music stopping for the cryptocurrency market. Most other assets are also going to start to stall, right? Just like you look at Bitcoin in that way, you not only use Bitcoin as a proxy, so like Bitcoin hits 30,000, expect these other alts to then stall, but also they have important exponential moving averages that they may hit. For instance, I'm looking at Dota right here, and this yellow line is the 21 exponential moving average for the weekly time frame, okay? And that's around 32 cents, okay? So I think that Dodo is likely to have significant resistance at this point. My EMA is showing me that we may get up to as high as 39 cents before finding significant resistance, and the price action is telling me as much, because this was right here significant support. Okay, this was significant support. So maybe 39 cents. Maybe this EMA curves up a little bit. Curves up a little bit by the time we get there. All right, and then if you go on the daily time frame, you can kind of see the same thing, except that 32-cent mark is not represented by the 21 exponential moving average, but the 144 exponential moving average. So again, you see confluence here. So this is why I got my alarm line. So again, this is how I think you can use EMAs on a high time frame to gauge significant resistance, right, in a trend. So we're just gonna go down the line of this watch list and do the same thing and see major areas where price is likely to kind of stall. Okay, and here I strongly think that it's gonna be a little higher. Although the alarm is gonna be early, that's fine. I just will start paying attention at this point, but I think this is the sticking point right here. The VPVR is showing me as much, closer to 35. What is this? Yeah, 35 to 39 cents. Because again, this level is important resistance because we're above it, or below it rather. So yeah, that's Dodo. Litecoin, again, on the daily, 144 is up here, around 81 cents. Okay, if you go on the weekly, you see that the 21 EMA is around there right now. Okay, it doesn't mean it's not going to move. Again, none of this is 100%. It has to happen like this. It's just probabilistic. We deal in terms of probabilities. So you set these, and as time goes, you watch and you monitor. Okay, Dogecoin, on the weekly, you see the same thing. The 21 EMA is up at 10 cents thereabouts. Okay, and if you go on the daily time frame, that 21 EMA on the weekly is represented by the 144 on the daily. Okay, and that's around 10 cents. So it's likely to be around there, but price action showing me that I think we can go as high as, 10 cents. 10 cents, I think, is pretty much where it's at. But again, this is a strong trend. If this trend is truly the reversal of 450 days of corrective price action, then you shouldn't be surprised by strong moves and very little retracement consolidation, because that's just what a bull trend is, right? Cardano, on the daily, the 144 is represented by the around 72 cents, and that's confluent with this resistance we have in price action here, right? This was support right here. It's resistance because we're below it. This is also the top of this reversal consolidation range. I think that is a very likely target, 70, 71, 72 cents, okay? There we go. So for Ethereum, I think the next major target is up here, right? Because you've just broken the 55 EMA, it's likely that you come all the way up to the 144, okay? And that's confluent with this resistance right here, okay? Actually, yeah, well, let's see. I would say 17 or 18 to 2000, okay? I think 18 to 2000 for Ethereum is a likely target. The 144 right now is hanging out around 2000. So maybe 2000, okay? If we're just using the EMAs. Kadena, 144 EMA on the daily is all the way up at the top of this range, okay? At 3.56 cents. I think that's likely, right? This reversal consolidation range that we've been putting in for the past 60 or so days, at the top is at 356, and that's where the top of the EMA, the 144 EMA is. So this is how I use EMAs on a large time frame to set targets. Now, You also want to give yourself some sort of idea, some rough estimate as to how long this move is going to take. And with this, you can use another indicator, okay? You can use your moon phases indicator, okay? And this is a realistic indicator. I did a live stream on it not too long ago. With statistical significance, moon phases correlate with major buying opportunities and major selling opportunities. Specifically, the full moons correlate with major buying opportunities, and the new moons represent major selling opportunities. We experienced the last full moon on July 13th or 14th, and so the next new moon would be on July 28th. This is when I expect us to matriculate in Bitcoin from here where we're at around 22, 23K all the way up to this 30K level, okay? So I expect the next 10 or so days to just be positive price action, okay? This is you haven't yet experienced a pump in Bitcoin or in most other assets. Look at this huge gulf in the VPVR. Very little buying and selling between 22K, actually between 21K and 30K. Expect this to move quite quickly, relatively so, right? So in the next 10 days, expect for us to go maybe 3% on average every day, because I think there's about 30% of positive price action in that gulf. Yeah, something like that. And so yeah, this is what I'm expecting. Again, just like other assets, like we haven't yet pumped yet. I mean, yes, we've been experiencing positive price action, but we're at massive resistance and we're about to break it. And once we break this resistance, that's when we see the double-digit gains, double-digit daily gains, right, to make up this positive price action in the next 10 days. So that's what I'm expecting. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. That's about all I have today. I think you get the point. If you got value, definitely let me know. Comment on the video. Let me know what you guys are thinking. What are your plans for this pump, this price action? What do you see it doing? I'd be curious to know. Have a great Monday. Take care. Bye.